And it's time for a basic taste test. Yeah, one that I've been talking about, well, since the review before last, when I went to Sainsbury's and got a bottle of that Erdinger Helis. Thought it was brilliant. And I thought, you know what? They've got all these interesting looking lagers now at Sainsbury's, or supposed to have. They were all sold out when I looked. So why don't we do a little taste test with the main three, the big three. There are actually more as well. They've got the Erdinger in there as well, and they've got I think they've got something else as well there. I've not seen the Erdinger there yet, though. It's I think they're still waiting to get that back in. But it was the big three. I thought let's do a big taste test for them. So we'll introduce the beers in a second. But yeah, this one is actually it's recorded today and released today because it is a really hot day. So anyone in the UK will know it's we're in the middle of a bit of a heat wave, and today is incredibly hot, and yesterday was incredibly hot. So why not have some really nice Helles beers? So this is going to be released the same day as I'm recording it. Wow. Well, what can I say? Let's introduce the beers. First one, Tegernseer Hell. This is the one that I've been waiting for. This is the one that they've never had in, but they've got it in now. It's the Tegernseer Hell. It's what is widely regarded by many people to be pretty much the best Helles money can buy. Certainly one of the best Helles in the world. And it's 4.8% ABV, and I got that from Sainsbury's, and they about £3.40 a bottle, but they are three for the price of four. So there you go. So you get 3 bottles for just over a tenner, but you're actually getting 4 bottles for just over a tenner. So really, these all work out about £2.50 a bottle if you're going to get the deal, which is incredibly good value for money. The second beer that's going to be up against, or the one that's going to be up against it, is the Augustiner Lager Beer Hell. The one at the moment that is the current sort of champion of the Helleses, the best Helles so far as I'm concerned. But this is going to be blind. I really won't know which is which out of these. This is 5.2% ABV. I'm only going to do one more. I know there are other Helleses out there. I know the Sainsbury's had the Erdinger Hell as well, but I've not seen a bottle of that yet. They still haven't got that back in anywhere. And really, I know which one that is from a blind taste test, and I don't think it is as good as these two anyway. So there's no point in putting that in there. Let's bring up the third contender. This is the reason for the competition, because when I had this, I was so impressed with it. The Erdinger Hells, that I thought, you know what, I've got to put this up against these two big boys. I was almost going to think about putting it up against the Edelstoff, but that's not a Hells, so I thought I won't do that. And really, yeah, and pretty much I thought, yeah, I'll do that. And it's not available in Sainsbury's either, really, or just like normal supermarkets, should we say. These are all now available in normal supermarkets, so it would be a great little taste test to find which is the best Helles and which is the best lager you can buy in a normal supermarket, which will be whatever wins this, basically. This is 5.1% ABV, so a little bit weaker than this, a little bit stronger than this. Don't want to waffle too much because these beers are not as cold as they could be, and I don't want them to get too warm. Let's face it. So that's best before the 2nd of 27. This one is best before, is checking they're both similar. I can't see a best before date on that one. Oh, they go the 2nd of 27. And this one here is best before the 3rd of 27. So they're all very similar ages. Yeah, I am absolutely waffling. All available at Sainsbury's, and I say you can get 3 for the price of 4. This was £3.40 a bottle. I think this was £3.30 a bottle, and this was £3.10 a bottle. But either way, they end up being all about £2.50 a bottle if you just buy 4 basically and pay for 3. So there you go. What can I say? That is an incredibly good value for money. I mean, £2.50 a bottle is a steal for beers this fine. But I'm not going to waffle anymore. I've got to get these into glasses before they get too warm. So we'll get them poured out into glasses. The glasses are up there. Do I need to introduce the glasses? Not really. I've got the Beer Merchants one, the Budvar one, and the Rivington one. Only going to have about half a glass of each. That should be enough to do a decent taste test. Anyway, let's get these poured. We'll get the taste test underway. Okay, beer's poured. Oh, I miss saying that. And the heads have gone down a bit because I'd just done one take and scrapped it. So this is the second take. So the heads have actually gone down a bit there, but they are still about the same. Looking at them, looking at the colours first of all. So let's have a look at these two. So looking at the colours, I've already looked at the colours of these, and this one I'd say is the palest. So this, I tell you what, before we do that, let's tell you which one's which. I'm a bit rusty at this, aren't I? So here, this is which one is which. Okay, that is which one is which. Okay, so let's have a look at these two. So as I say, this one is definitely paler than this one. This one on the end here, I think, is a little bit darker. Yeah, this is a little bit darker than this one. So the one on the right-hand side, my right, your left, this one here, is the darkest. Then that one. That one's a little bit paler than both of them, really, but it doesn't give me any indication as to what they are. I'd say the heads have gone down a bit. Is this the first time I've done a three-way taste test? I don't know, actually. Interesting. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, how I can do with these. Completely blind. I have no idea which one is which out of these. The colours aren't really giving me anything away. I don't really know much about the colours of these beers, apart from they're not particularly amber in colour, but they're not dead pale. Let's have a little swill. It's really hot today, as you know, and it's really hot in this room. So these are going to go down a treat anyway. But my mouth's a bit dry, which is why I've just, yeah. So anyway, let's get into the noses. So we're going to get into the nose of these. I'm going to start with this one on the right. So let's have a see how this one smells. So that one smells quite malty, syrupy. A little bit spicy. Yeah, malty, brown bread, a little bit of syrup, spice. A little bit grassy, a little bit of orange in there. Yeah, I'm not going to spend too long smelling each one because I want to go between them and just see. Because otherwise I'll probably end up saying the same things about them all because they've all got similar profiles, I think. Or you never know. I might go to this one and think, oh, that's different. We'll see. But yeah, it's smelling like one of those three that I know one of those three smells like. But you know what? I'm probably wrong, so I'm not going to say anything yet. Let's have a go at this one. These are nicely cold, these as well. They're not too cold, but they certainly are chilled. Oh, that one's not quite the same. It's a bit different. It's a bit more citrusy, this one. It's a bit citrusy. It's a little bit grapefruity. Still got the malt in there. Still a bit grassy. Getting more lemons and almost like pineapples in there. You can get a little bit of spice. It's not as malt forward though as that one. Got a little bit of a crafty vibe. It's almost a little bit Erdinger-y, but in a good way. Like not good Erdinger, but crafty in a good way. Like Erdinger's crafty in a good way as well. It's got a little bit more of a just kind of citrusy kind of vibe to it, but really nice and natural and just fresh, fragrant. What about this one? Interesting. Let's see what this one's like in the beer merchant's glass. Oh, and that is different. That's much more malty. So that's the maltiest of the three. So we're getting that. We're getting malt on that one. We're getting, yeah, definitely getting serious brown bread notes there and marmalade. A little bit more syrupy than the one on the end. I'm going to try this one again. Actually, no, let's just do this one on its own first. So we're getting, yeah, it's getting a bit syrupy. See, that's got a little bit of citrus in there as well. Certainly the most pungent on the aroma, but pungent I mean in a good way, not in a bad way. Again, very kind of rye cracker kind of way. The kind of maltiness there. Certainly got brown bread notes. A little bit of that kind of marmitiness I get from some of these lagers. I'd say that's a lot more malt forward, that one. Let's try this one again, just to see how this one smells in comparison. Yeah, always odd when going from one to another on the nose. But yeah, that one is similar. That one's similar, but it's a little bit less heavy on the malt and a bit more on the orange. This one is much more citrus forward and not as malt forward. So already we're thinking, you know, what do you like in your beers at the end of the day? You know, this is going to be a very subjective taste test, really. I mean, all of these are absolutely amazing beers, and they're all right up there at the top. But which one is going to win today? We'll find out. So, let's get tasting this one. Here we go. Cheers. Yeah, smooth as anything. That absolutely smooth as smooth as you like. To be honest, I'm expecting them all to be dead smooth. It's really smooth. It's a little bit carbonated. It just goes down those silky smooth. You're getting quite a bit of that malt in the flavour. A little bit of grassiness. There is a little bit of that kind of orange in there. Let's have another go. These are not going to last very long. I should have asked for full pints, really. But anyway. But yeah, we're getting maltiness. We're getting a little bit of that orange. A nice bit of bitterness. Say, a little bit of grassiness. Lovely biscuity aftertaste. Getting that on the finish, which you don't often get really with really malt forward lagers, but I am getting that. Crisp, it's clean, there's no dirtiness whatsoever in there. It's cracking, it's absolutely cracking. Let's go on to the next one. So it looks like I drank about half of that, so I might just have to go for half of this. So let's try this one. Cheers. So that is, it's a little bit more Pilsner-esque, this one. It's a bit crisper. It's got a bit more of that Pilsner bitterness. It's got a little more citrus up front and a bit less malt. Again, it's got that lovely biscuity aftertaste, but from a more of a Pilsner-y flavour lager, I expect that more. This one, yeah, it does. It is giving me a bit, almost like half Pilsner, half Helles vibes, really. But it's crisp, it's zesty, there's a little bit of grapefruit bitterness there as well. And it's got that, it's got a lovely sort of just creamy butteriness at the end there. Absolutely beautiful. I am dripping sweat at the moment. It's just not that you don't want to know that, but it's so hot in here. So these are going down like a treat, but it doesn't matter. We're just comparing them against each other, so it's still a fair test. I'm just really thirsty. So yeah. Crisp, zesty, a little bit of grapefruit bitterness. It's more dry, that one, than that one. That one's a bit sweeter than that one. What do you want, though? I don't know. And the third one. Here we go. What do we think of this one? Here we are. Cheers. So I can honestly say, tell you what, let's talk about this one for a minute. So again, more malt forward. Doesn't have as much aftertaste as this one does, but it's more malt forward. It's still quite spicy in the taste. It's still really smooth, possibly a little bit more carbonated than these two, but it's still really smooth to drink. I'd say though, the maltiness and stuff is a bit more subtle in this one than this one. This one is a bit more up front, which is weird because in the flavour this one was more up front with the maltiness. Now let's go here again. Yeah, this one's got a slightly sweeter maltiness. Go back to this one. These are very similar, these two. Yeah, I'd say it's a bit lighter. I'd say probably a bit more sort of zesty, but I think I said that. It's not zesty, but a bit more lemony and grapefruity. This one's a bit more orangey and marmaladey. This one is a very different beast. Say there's a bit more grapefruit bitterness in there. Not sure if I'm a massive fan of that. So this one is a little bit behind at the moment, but that's just what I like. The kind of things I like. I said it's a bit sort of tangy, should we say, in the taste there. But this is the one that I think it might be for that reason. There isn't one of these that I've had a bit of a tanginess from before. It's been a while since I had it. Got a lovely aftertaste though. Lovely aftertaste. A little bit of a grapefruit tanginess that I'm not a huge massive fan of in a Helles. But some people might say, if this is a really good one, some people might say, well, that's the whole point. That will make it different. Well, there you go. It's weird. These beers are so amazing, but comparing them to each other, they don't taste as amazing as they actually are, because we're just comparing them against other beers that are equally amazing. So my palate is now just set to amazing. There's no flaws in any of these beers. So for that reason, none of them are really knocking my socks off. I'm just trying to really think, okay, which one of these is better than the others? I would drink any of these over pretty much every other lager you can get. Because in this taste test, I'm just taking for granted things that these beers do that so many beers do not. Things like being smooth, being clean, being really crisp, being really drinkable, having no like off flavours, having no kind of dirtiness. These beers are just, they're pretty much flawless. And now I'm trying to compare 3 flawless beers to find out which one's the best. It's not easy. I am enjoying drinking these 2 more than that one, I've got to say. So I may have to, just from a quick point of view, I may use that as a way to start thinking. So this is currently in last place, but it doesn't mean it'll finish in last place. Let's try this one again. Let's give it a bit of a chance. Let's see if there's anything about it which redeems it. The aftertaste redeems it. It is nice though. That there is a little bit of that tartness, but I think it's just from the bitterness. It does have a lovely citrusy flavour to it, this one. So I'm not sure if I'm counting it out just yet, but you never know. This one, is very pleasant. It's got a lovely bit of sweetness. I mean, this is really well balanced. The maltiness, the sweetness, the citrus, everything's just lovely well balanced in that one. This one, it's a lovely savoury note running through this one, actually. A lovely savoury note running through it. Okay, so right, I'm gonna talk a bit about these beers, really. So first of all, from the perspective of me, from this taste test, I'm gonna say, what's the best lager in the world? What's the best lager in the world? Today we're going to crown the best lager in the world. We're definitely going to crown the best Helles in the world. In my opinion, I mean, that's not what this is about. Watching my videos, the best lager in the world can change day to day. So I'm going to crown whatever wins today as the best lager in the world. Certainly the best Helles in the world. But really, to be honest, these are all, as I've said this before, these are all the best lager in the world. They're just amazing. It's about what you want. What you want from the beer at that particular time. And to be honest, this, ice cold, when it's this hot, would be unbelievable, would be the best of the 3. I think from a flavour perspective, just going into it as to what is an interesting flavour, because this is probably the most interesting of the 3. From a flavour, from a really pleasant flavour, from a really just like smooth, kind of buttery, kind of, I don't know, some malty, just kind of wheaty, just whatever kind of flavour that I just want to sit nice and cold in the garden, that I'm really going to enjoy. I'd say these 2 do a bit better than this one does. I'm having trouble kind of by making any of these the worst, as it were, because they're all unbelievable. But I think this one I'm going to put in 3rd place, just because it's not quite what I expect from a Helles. It's not quite giving me what I wanted today, although it is cracking and it is amazing. And that little bitterness bit that I wasn't sure of at first, I'm loving it now. It's really just attacking my taste buds. It's waking them up. It's getting them ready to take the assault, which is to come. So I'm not quite going to count this out just yet. Just going to try the other 2 first. Then I'm going to see which one's coming in 3rd place. Getting a bit more of a lemoniness from that one now. Just feels a little bit more complex, that one. Yeah. Okay, so this one will be in third place. And the reason it's going to be in third place is because it's going to be, it's like, it's a little bit less of the malt. It's a bit, I want a bit more malt. In a Helles, I want a bit more malt in the flavour. And this one is a little bit less malt forward than these two. And while I don't want something that's ridiculously malt forward, because generally in a Helles you don't get it ridiculously malt forward, I want it a little bit more malt forward than this one. So this one is, I'm going to move these around now. Hopefully you know which one, you've remembered which one's which. I'm going to put them in order of what I think. So third's going to go there. So that's in third place. The whatever's in the Rivington glass. I'm going to tell you what I'm guessing these to be in a minute, but hopefully you've remembered which one is which out of these. So it's just down to these two now. Now I'm having real trouble kind of telling the difference between these. I think if somebody switched these around a few times, or I've tasted them blindfolded, I don't think I would know which. I don't think I would be able to tell, even if they were the different beers. They're very similar. They're like similar but different. They've got very similar flavour profiles. They've got the same amount of malt, the same amount of whatever, citrus, same amount of hops, whatever. But they do taste different. Say this one's a little bit sweeter. But this one's got a bit more of a backbone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with a bit of a rationale, should we say, with my decision. And that's a great Helles, as far as I'm concerned, and I might be wrong, probably am, but a great Helles, as far as I'm concerned, is really well balanced. It's got a good amount of malt to it. It also has the real other stuff as well. It's not too malt forward, but there is a bit of a malt. There's a fairly serious malt presence to it. So for that reason, this one comes third, because I'd say there's not enough of a malt presence for me. Now, that said, this one in the middle, I think is a bit too malt forward. I mean, compared to these two. I mean, obviously, if I compared that to like Sabor or something, or, like a really good Spanish lager, that's really malt forward, then it probably wouldn't taste that malt forward. But compared to these two, it does. This one is just 0.5% out of whack with the malt. Whereas this one, when I go to this one, it's a little bit sweeter, and I do like it a little bit sweeter. That malt is a little bit toned back, so you can taste the citrus and stuff coming through it a little bit more. It's got the buttery aftertaste as well. This one didn't really have much of the buttery aftertaste. I have really no idea which ones these two are. I really don't. This one, to be honest, I think I know which one this one might be, but I'm probably wrong because I have no idea. But this is going to be the interesting bit now. So let's put the water down. This is the decision now. Oh, I think I've drank too much of it in one go. So this one is in third place. And I'm going to guess that this is the Tegernseer. But only because I think I remember having a Tegernseer and thinking that there was a little bit of that kind of grapefruit bitterness that I thought, interesting. I think that's why it didn't win against the Augustiner when I did it up against the Augustiner once. Right, that said, these two. Now I always think of, from what I remember about the Augustiner and the Erdinger, I think I remember the Augustiner being a little bit more malt forward than the Erdinger. So for that reason, I'm going to guess this one's the Augustiner. But if I'm right, which I'd be incredibly surprised if I'm right, then if that's the Augustiner, then this must be the Erdinger. But what I think they are is completely irrelevant because I have no idea. So what really matters is I definitely like this one more than these two. I definitely like this one more than that one. So there is it's definitely first, second and third for today. Might not be for everybody that, but it's certainly for me today on a blind taste test when I don't know which is which. That's the best, then that one, then that one. So I can't wait to find out whether I was right. I can't wait to find out which is which. So I'm going to find out. and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, and what can I say? I haven't got them all right, but I'm right to a certain extent. People who took the spoiler at the beginning will know what I got right and what I didn't get right. But anyway, let's start with this one again. So this one, I said, and it still does have, I think, does it though? I don't know. Compared to these two, yes, it does. But this is one that was different from the other two. Had a little bit more of that grapefruit bitterness, a little bit less of the malt. And I'm reliably informed that was not the Tegernseer, when in fact, it was the Augustiner. So I'm going to pour a bit of Augustiner and just see whether it tastes the same. If it is the same, it's strange that. But yeah, nice aftertaste though. It does have a lovely biscuity aftertaste. I'd say these two are very similar. They're very similar, I'd say, in how good they are. They both got, that one doesn't quite have the aftertaste, but it does have the maltiness. This one doesn't have the maltiness, but it does have the aftertaste. So yeah, I mean, it's amazing. It's crisp, it's refreshing. If you do the old holding it in your mouth and savouring it, you do get that kind of a bit of grapefruit bitterness there. It's very dry. If that is your bag, then that is great. But unfortunately for Augustiner, it came third in this particular taste test. Which was the one that came second? Absolutely malty heaven. So, malty, bit citrusy, absolutely delicious. It has actually got a bit of aftertaste. Actually, I'm getting a bit of that biscuitiness in the background there, and possibly a little bit of a malty aftertaste as well. Anyway, that was this one, the Tegernseer. Beautiful. So, Tegernseer was the second one. Let's just have a little taste of the Tegernseer to check. So, I didn't realise that the Tegernseer and the Augustiner were so different, but they are. They're very different indeed. Tegernseer, much more malty. Augustiner, much less malty. I mean, it's not massively malt forward, to be honest. But there is more malt in this one than this one. But that takes us to this one. Well, so I clearly got these two the wrong way around, which is strange. But this one is still the one that, well, it's the one I thought it was. So, the one that I really enjoyed and I kept going back to, and just loved the fact that it just had a little bit more sweetness and it was a bit more, I don't know, just a bit more well balanced between the fruit and the malt. It's this one here, and it even says on the back there, I didn't even notice that, it's on the back, smooth. And the one thing that you can say about this beer, it is smooth. It is really, really smooth. Yeah, I mean, yeah, slightly less flavour than this one, but and they are very similar. They are very similar. This one's got a little bit more malt in it. And that one's got a little bit less. This one's a bit more zesty and a bit more kind of lemony and fruity. But yeah, wow. What can I say? What can I say? This is it. This is the best. Well, really the best three Helises money can buy. I've had loads of different Helises from bottle shops from all over the place. I've still yet to find one that can hold a candle to either of these two. Really, I mean, these two are they're just streets ahead. This was a relatively new contender. But what can I say? It's really, really done itself proud. I am absolutely sweating buckets. So yeah, yeah. Wow, who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? I am absolutely waffling. It's been a long one, this, but I've really enjoyed it. Drinking quite possibly the best three Helles beers. I can't say the best three lagers because, you know, it depends what kind of lager you want. So many different lager styles are so different, aren't they? But your Helles beers are all very similar, and I'd say these are the best three Helleses that money can buy. Definitely these two got a massive reputation for being, you know, definitely two of the best Helleses that money can buy. And this beat both of them. What can I say? The Erdinger Helles punching well above its weight, because Erdinger are primarily a a Weizenbier manufacturer, aren't they? But it just shows they can do a Helles just as good as these two, okay? I mean, you know, is it better than those two? It all depends on the day. It was really close, this one. It might have looked like it wasn't close, but it just is. It all depends on the day. Depends what you're looking for. Depends on, you know, how you're feeling that day. And today, this one, let's get these two away. I can't believe it's gone. It's gone. Nothing is undefeated. Let's face it. Nothing's undefeated, because last time I tasted this one and the Augustiner next to each other, the Augustiner won. So strange, very strange. It's a strange old game, beer tasting, and although if you've got like this against the Stella, it's going to be no contest. When you've got three beers that are just all so amazing and so good and so different as well, it's very, very hard to choose the best. I'm waffling and I don't care. What can I say? Here we go. Erdinger Helles. The best Helles in the world. There you go. You heard it here first. Nothing else to say. Let's pour a bit more of the best Helles in the world. Let's taste the best Helles in the world. Yeah, I mean, I do like my lagers a little bit on the sweeter side. I do love a Lowenbrau. If you don't like your lagers a bit more on the sweeter side, then I definitely recommend the Tegernseer. If you like your lagers with a little bit less maltiness and a little bit more bitterness, a little bit more of that just kind of grapefruit bitterness, I'd recommend the Augustiner, definitely. But if you're like me and you like a Lowenbrau and you like your Helles just a little bit on the sweeter side, my God, that's a good beer. That is so good. It's such a good beer. I don't care that I'm crowning it the winner above them two absolute just pros. Let's face it, they were the top two seeds in this competition, and the Erdinger beat both of them. What can I say? Thank you so much for watching and sticking with me this far. Remember to like and subscribe. Till next time, have a good one. Hi, it's me again. I know I said I had a good one, but I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop. I don't want to leave you guys because I've not got much of this left. All this. Do you know what I'm thinking? Yes. Super Helis. Let's do it. Let's try. Before we go, let's try the Super Helis. Can we fit them all in? Absolutely crazy. Oh yes, I think we'll just fit them all in. Super Helis is about the same amount of each left. Let's get in there, Super Helis. How does the Super Helis taste? It's the extended director's cut. Let's just finish these off. I should have put these in really, shouldn't I? Let's dump that in as well. Yes, here we go. We've got the Augustiner Tegernseer Super Helis. Let's try that again. The Augustiner Tegernseer Super Helis. Let's just have a little taste of it before I go. So, what can I say? Ha! Beautiful colour. It's a bit of a combination of all the. I'm not going to do all that. Let's get a nose in it. I'm going to actually do a quick review of this Super Helis. Oh yeah, it smells zesty, it smells lemony, it smells malty, it smells beautiful. Could this be the best Helles in the world? Should we see? You know what? It is malty and it's a little bit zesty. It's got a little bit of that grapefruit punchiness from the Augustiner. This is definitely a thing that I recommend because all these beers were amazing and all these beers had some little things that made them a little bit better than the others and some little things that made them not quite as good as the others. Stick them all together in a big glass and it balances it all out. Now, I'm pretty sure when I did the Spartan Lowenbrau Super Helis, I think I said it wasn't as good as the other two. Is this better than all the others? Is it better than the sum of its parts? It is good. It is good. I've got to say, This could quite possibly be the best Helles in the world. The Augustiner Super Helis. So there you go. What can I say? If any of them brewers are watching, the Augustiner Super Helis could be the best Helles in the world. But I don't know, because would I rather have a bottle of each or 3 bottles of the I'll try it again, the Augustiner Super Helis? I would probably rather have the 3 separate bottles, because you get the variety, you get the difference, and it's all about variety. It's all about difference, let's face it. So for that reason, no, it's not, because if we turned all them into Super Helis, we wouldn't have the same kind of variety, would it really? So it's really nice. It's really nice. It's really well balanced. It's basically just as good as the others, to be fair. But I wouldn't say it's particularly better than the others. But it's an interesting idea. This really is it, though. I'm gonna have to leave you. I don't know what to say, apart from, until next time, have a good one.